All right, good morning. A bit earlier today, it's 6:40 a.m. Pacific time, June 18th. Got a lot to do today, so we'll get right into it. I am tired. Anyway, okay. So the topic for this morning, some guidelines, some about cutting your dog's nails. And I'll go into as much detail as I can. Obviously, this is not meant to be a tutorial on how to do it. I kind of just want to sort of give you some basic concepts regarding it. So, the dog's nails have inside them, inside the actual nail part, the shell, the claw, what's called the quick, and the quick is what makes up the combination of the nerve and the blood vessels that supply it. And the quick is what everybody focuses on when you are trying to cut your dog's nails. Because if you cut the nail too short and you hurt the quick, it's painful because the nerve is there and it'll start bleeding fairly dramatically, I would say. So when pet owners are trying to cut their dog's nails short, they're trying to do so, but without going too short to not hit the quick. And that's what makes it difficult because some nails are pigmented, meaning they're dark in color and not clearish. And so you can't really see that pink hue to the quick. So you're somewhat guessing. It's also difficult because your dog may not be tolerant of cutting nails. Some dogs are weird about you touching their feet. Some dogs are just like puppies, are just very wiggly and won't sit still. Some have had bad experiences before with their feet or their nails or whatever, and so it's very difficult to do so. And then of course there's different techniques that you can use to try and cut the nails, which not every technique works for every dog. So it makes cutting nails difficult. And for those people who have the right dog and the skill set and the experience to do it, it's a pretty routine process. For those who do not, it can be quite frustrating and challenging, and frankly speaking, probably not worth the risk of upsetting your dog. And not to mention, it's not enough just to cut one nail, right? You're gonna cut all the nails. So this is gonna be a process. So if you can't get through the first nail, it'll be a fight till the end, if you can even get to the end. All right. So that's kind of the overview there. Now, most people, I would venture, either get the groomer to cut the nails, or maybe like doggy daycare or the veterinarian. Somebody else usually cuts the nails. So you don't have to do it yourself as a dog owner. You can also try and encourage your dog to wear down the nails a more natural way. So walking outside on like concrete, asphalt, rough surfaces, so that they will wear down the nails. Those dogs that are fairly active, that are like police dogs or hunters, or they go with you running or hiking or whatever, they probably are wearing their nails down at a pretty decent pace and maintaining adequate nail length. So that's another way you can try and promote it, but that's not going to work for every dog. A Labrador Retriever or a Golden Retriever will have probably a much easier time wearing down those nails from chasing a ball outside and whatever, compared to like a pug or a Chihuahua that they don't really run that hard, and when they do, it's short lived, and but they're not usually performing the rugged activities that a large breed dog is. But again, these are general guidelines. Of course, there are exceptions to all these things. So, what's the problem with dogs' nails being too long? Well, it is uncomfortable for your dog to, if they jump on you or they paw at you, and the nail's long, it'll hurt you, it'll scratch you. It also makes them less prone to snagging on carpeting or whatever, so they don't break the nail in a more aggressive fashion. Um, and then you can have nails that grow too long to where it disrupts the ability of the dog to walk. And if it goes really long, sometimes this is more so in cats, it'll curve back and start to push into their paw pad because it's getting so long. So, oh, and the other thing too is the longer you keep the nails, the longer the quick it gets, and there's a small gap between where the quick ends and the tip of the nail, and so you're looking at trying to. That's where you want to cut the nail, is right where the quick ends. Um, but the longer the nails are, the longer the quick. All right. So now, how would you cut the nails? Well, if your dog is known to be a wiggle worm, um, some sort of sedation beforehand works. And so I do advise vettriage.com to go into more details. Well, what kind of over the counter stuff you can use, or maybe what prescription stuff you can use, and talk to our veterinarians on Vet Triage, and they'll talk you through it. Not every product or medication or sedative or whatever is going to be safe for your pet. So you want to talk to a vet. But you can try sedating your pet beforehand, kind of calm the nerves a bit. And then from there, you can either your dog is really good and you can just have them lay on their side or lay on their back, have them lay on you with their legs out and their head up here and on their back. And so, but however you want to do it. And then you may or may, if you're good at this and your dog is good at it, you can do it by yourself. Otherwise, have somebody there to perhaps not just hold your dog's head away, just in case he or she inadvertently tries to bite because you hit a sensitive spot when you're cutting the nails, but also to hold the legs out for you so you can cut the nails under controlled conditions, and have a well lit room and minimize stimulation around you while you're doing this, so there's no distractions. And then you can use nail cutters, which you can buy over the counter. You can so literally they look like they're like scissors, like you cut the nails. And then there's also power tools you can use, a Dremel that can wear down the nails. Well, I like the power tool option. It gives you way more control and finesse when you do this. But not every pet likes the vibration or the heat from it, the sound of the machine. It can freak them out. So it may not be for every single scenario. And those are the two devices that I know of that you can use. I'm sure there are other things out there. Most veterinarians have the clippers. Now, if you were to cut the nail too short, then a few things could happen. Nothing, number one. Number two, your pet is going to yelp and try to run away from you, but there's no bleeding. And number three, there's going to be the yelping plus bleeding. So if you were to cut it too short, then my recommendation again is going to be Vet Triage. This is typically not a situation that's worth going to an emergency hospital for, unless for some reason we can't control the bleeding or the pain, which is uncommonly the case, but it can happen. But most of the time, even though the bleeding looks really bad to you at home as a pet owner, we can have you talk to a veterinarian and get it under control at home through Vet Triage. So there are ways to do it, but that's what'll happen if you cut too short. Otherwise, if there's no bleeding, there's no discomfort, then either you have a really lucky scenario, a really stoic dog, or you're doing it right. How often you have to cut the nails? I don't really have a guideline for this. It just depends on your pet. Every dog is different genetically, and they have different lifestyles, and so their nails are going to grow at different rates between dogs. So it's whatever is needed, it's needed. That's the bottom line. And of course, factors like your dog has brittle nails or gets nail infections or whatever. These things can also affect your ability to reliably cut the nails yourself at home without a veterinarian involved, or at least a groomer or somebody involved who has more experience. So yeah, I think that's probably a good overview there. We focused on dogs. Cats need their nails cut as well. Usually cats are pretty good about scratching posts and things like that. So they keep their nails short anyway, but not every cat does. And they're way more prone to having overgrown nails that start to puncture their paw pad. So, but otherwise, the same sort of rules apply with them. Cats can be cat nails are usually, I think, much easier to cut. They are not as tough as dog nails. They tend to have clear nails, so you can see the quick. And they're much more manageable. You can just scruff your cat's neck and go at it. You'll probably need someone to help you because unlike dogs who don't retract their nails, cats do, and so you have to um, be able to push on the paw pads in a way that pushes the nail out, so that way you can cut it. So a little bit more involved. It's to some degree a little easier to some degree, and but same rules apply. Cats are really more prone to not dealing with the Dremel tool with the sounds and vibrations. Dogs can be a little more tolerant of it. So nail clippers probably the way to go for cats, and you can buy small nail clippers too for smaller dogs or for cats. That probably covers it. I think that's good for this morning. Any questions, any suggestions? Go ahead and hit like and spread the word, all that good stuff. And I look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow for another one. We'll talk to you then. Bye.